we finally got real gameplay footage of the upcoming Gothic 1 remake, which is definitely one of the most hyped up remakes of the last couple of years. And while some gameplay trailers create more questions than answers, this one actually showed a lot of new things, new NPCs, new regions, new monsters. All in all, this trailer really makes me want to play this game more and more. But however, there are some things that I didn't quite like, that I find quite concerning even in this gameplay trailer. So let's talk about the good, the bad of the Gothic 1 remake. So immediately at first glance, when looking at this trailer, it becomes clear this game will look extremely good, and especially compared obviously to the Gothic 1 game from 2001, it is a night and day difference. However, while this game looks so different, it feels like the developers still want to keep most of the known locations and even the designs of them. You know, I mean, just look at the mines or at the camps and compare them from the Gothic 1 to the Gothic 1 remake. While they definitely look a lot better with newer textures and, you know, just with modern graphics, the core principles and the core looks of them stay the same, which is definitely a good thing in my opinion, because, well, in remakes the games should definitely improve when it comes to the looks of things, but they should keep the core foundations also when it comes to the open world. And while, as I said, the core things might stay the same, a lot of locations and things that we'll be able to visit in the game look way more majestic or built out. I mean, just look at the arena, for example. It looks considerably bigger than from the original. And obviously when you look at the camp, for example, while it looks quite similar, it is way more detailed, and it really feels like the developers focused very much on actually creating an interesting but kind of similar open world in this remake. And when it comes to the visuals and on the lighting and the contrast, I've heard quite mixed opinions when it comes to this one, because the Gothic 1 remake looks a lot different from most modern games. You know, most modern games, they really point with huge contrasts, a lot of different colors. The Gothic 1 remake really has this grey, dark and kind of mature tone of color, and while opinions are quite mixed when it came to this aspect, I 100% like that idea of the Gothic game being and having this more dark and mature tone of the game, because the game itself is a very dark and a brutal world. So in my opinion, it just makes sense to also create visuals and graphics that look accordingly. And there is one clip that a lot of people talked quite shit about, let's say, and it is this one where we just roam through the world, through a forest specifically at night, and well, you can't see shit basically. The only time you can really see something is when the thunder strikes and you have a little bit of lightning from the moon and from the nature itself, and I absolutely love that atmosphere. The Gothic 1 game really pointed with its great atmosphere, and from looking at those pictures it really feels like the Gothic 1 remake will keep that atmosphere as well. And also I want you to concentrate on the HUD of the game. Yeah, there is none. There is not a single thing you can see other than the open world. That, my friends, is one of the most exciting things that I noticed in this trailer for me, because the immersion that comes from no distractions at all is simply as underrated as it gets. And as I said, the Gothic 1 game really pointed with its great atmosphere, and I'm extremely happy that they didn't decide on creating a big HUD with a huge minimap and some bars when you can see everything. It is basically the whole open world with no distractions. One negative aspect though that I noticed very quickly were the animations from the NPCs. I mean, just look at clips like these. It really looks very clunky and not realistic. And while the models of the NPCs themselves look quite good and realistic, how they move and the animations of them, that is one point that the developers will really have to concentrate on and improve, because it just doesn't look the quality that it should. However, when it comes to the NPCs, in the trailer we actually see some new ones, some NPCs that we didn't see in the original, and that, in my opinion, just shows that, well, as the developers said, they want to keep the core quests and, you know, the core people and the core part of the story, they will expand on them and just add new layers, new stories and new NPCs that even diehard fans don't know yet. And in addition to that, what I really love about the Gothic games is how realistic the everyday life is in them. You know, the game really reacts to your actions and the NPCs have day-night cycles. And one thing that the narrator in the trailer said is that this open world really feels like it doesn't need the player to survive. And that is a damn interesting way to put it, because in my opinion, that way you really feel immersed into this open world, that not everything is based around you, but the open world and the people themselves are truly living in it. And I was very glad that the developers actually said that they were going to keep on focusing on that part of the game and actually strengthening the immersion and the atmosphere of the game, which in my opinion got lost very much in the last couple of years when it comes to video games. So that is definitely very good news. When it comes to the combat and the gameplay in general, the game kind of looks to build upon the principles that we already know. You know, you have different types of weapons that we're going to improve while playing and it looks like we're only going to be able to attack one enemy at a time like it was in the original game. A bigger addition to the game, however, is the diving. You know, in the original we obviously could also dive and, you know, just see, but there was nothing to do there. But now in the remake we're actually going to be able to interact with objects underwater. How this is going to change the story and the quests, we don't know yet. However, it's definitely going to expand horizons and maybe add some layers when it comes to the quests and of the things to do in the open world. And when it comes to the choices that we're going to take, obviously the Gothic games really react to us and really allow us to make our own decisions. And that is something that the developers also want to keep on and expand on in the remake, so that there will not be a good or bad. We ourselves will be able to decide what we are going to do and who we are going to help, what places we are going to visit, stuff like that. And in conclusion, I really have to say that while there are some minor things that I didn't quite like and quite concern me when it came to this gameplay trailer, I still am extremely hyped for the Gothic 1 remake. And maybe after the Witcher 1 remake, this is definitely the remake that makes me the most hyped and excited for, and I really can't wait for its release. Obviously the release date is not yet confirmed, however it is set to be released in the beginning in April or May next year, and these months can't come soon enough. And tell me your opinions on the Gothic 1 remake. Are you as excited as I am to play this game? And what are your opinions on this gameplay footage? What are the things that you liked, that you didn't like? And obviously subscribe to the channel so you do not miss videos regarding the Gothic remake and other open world games. Alright guys, that was it from me in today's video. I wish you all an amazing day. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.